what do you think that we're missing in raising children as like parents or teaching children as like teachers? What are we not instilling? Like, what's not coming from the culture that you may think that we need to
We're
be
not
doing
taking
more
them
of?
seriously. We're considering them as infants and ignorant and, and in need of our wise guidance, but I think that's completely wrong because a kid has a real vision of a world that they're trying to figure out that's real to them, and it's a different world, it's a smaller world, it's a less able world, it's a more vulnerable world, and for you to come as an adult and say, "This is the real world," or "This is the adult world," or "Grow up," it's like all that's it's bullshit. So a kid's got a real world, and if you wanna be helpful, it's not a question of pulling them up into seeing the adult world, it's a question of you going down and remembering what it's like to be a kid. And some of that's, like, developmental. You have to remember that kids just like to play,
Mhm.
or they don't like to focus too much, or they don't like to sit still. So, what do? You read them stories, you play with them, you talk to them, you try to get them to talk to you, which often doesn't happen, or it's not encouraged very much, but you wanna get you want to establish a mentorship. I mean, you're not gonna be a mentor teaching irrelevant stuff. We send kids to school and expect them to be engaged in all this irrelevant stuff, which is not developmental. It's just, tools for being an auto mechanic when you're 25 or something. And, so I blame the schooling, which is not development based, but I also blame parents who are not taking responsibility to raise their kids.
Yeah,
And
yeah. We definitely have to find time like to meet people where they are and like speak their language. Like what you said
speak
there.
their language. That's right.
The kids are real people. You got to treat them like they're real human beings with real cares, real desires, real hopes and fears and dreams, and speak to that. And makes a lot of sense. And if schools aren't going to do it, like how do you think we as human beings can like teach these kids like to think more independently?
Well, that's your attitude. Maybe you shouldn't. I think, I mean, this is like counseling. Like you can't say, I mean, you can say what you think people should do, but it may not be right. So I would, my vision of what adults should do to be better parents is simply take responsibility for the emotional state of your kids. And if they're not happy, it's your fault. So, that may not be true, but it's still better to take the responsibility and try.
Yeah, at least be aware and like listen to what they're coming back. That's like the feedback you mentioned earlier, which I think is key. So at least you can see how what you're doing is affecting them and then how they're responding. So you can see what the next step is in the path of building that kind of self concept, their identity, and then building that ability of agency to say, what more can they do with what they have?